you should go here, 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 in this direction. Okay, and then make sure you cover over in this section. Okay, cool. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarKives, the KarQ Archives YouTube channel where I do VOD reviews, gameplay, content, patch notes reviews, some variety content, whatever I feel like, all live from my stream at twitch.tv/KarQ. Come on over, hang out. And that's how you can also get your VODs reviewed. If you hang out in the stream enough and you build up enough loyalty points, aka StonQs, make sure you follow the stream first. 48,000 in the store will net you a review. Today we have some Mercy from Miss Apple. Okay, a little bit of flying. So far, so good. Nice, nice. Taking a look.
Your support has arrived.
Nice movement. I like this. This is a huge improvement. Look at this. Look at this chat. Just some good shit. You guys see that? One more time. So this is the power of canceling your GA and using the jump at the end. Right. Like this. You GA, you let go, you press your jump right now, and instead of like continually flying to the Pharah, you're flying, but then you cut it off and you swing over, pressing D or to the right, and you fall down here into cover. That's like an advancement in movement that I can already tell since the last VOD review, I remember. So good stuff. That's something to... Why the hell is everybody blue? This is some... Okay, hold on. So that's good. Like, honestly, so far, so good. Good movement. I like how you're moving towards cover in between each little flying, each little float. Wait. Friendly color. Default. How do I reset this? Okay, there we go. Okay, now you're red again. Yeah, the colors kind of got fucked up. Let me try to fix this. So good movement so far. So far, so good. Nothing to comment on.
Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, where's the Baptiste? Is this mostly Mercy, or what are we looking for?
Objective A captured. Escort.
In a meta where it's hit a wall. I can't reverse the colors for some reason. Every time my VOD is whoever generates the code will always be red team. It's weird. Unless I make... You know what? Actually, what if I did enemy color blue, friendly color red? I did this. Oh. Oh ho ho ho. Ho 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 ho. Does this look weird? Looks a little weird. But you're still red though. Wait. Huh? It doesn't change. Yeah, the replay. Wait a minute. All right, I don't know. Okay, well, whatever. Attackers will always be red. Okay. Unlucky. Okay, we're gonna work with it.
I'm taking care of you. I will not wait.
Move it out.
Alright, so you're gonna check for the res here. Check if it's safe to do so. You might have some time. Okay. Honestly, so far so good. I got nothing for you here. I think the only other thing is once you see, I don't know, like once you res this and you're holding beam, I think you're just checking for when she flies. Once you have the beam attached, just look back at your teammates instead of like trying to like look around here. Alright, damage boost to this. Alright, they're anti. Good. When you guys are kind of rolling this fight, stay with your Pharah, stay with your Pharah here, stay with your Pharah here. She's on the flank.
I'm taking care of you.
Okay, good. If this is silver, you belong in bronze? No, this is way above silver, chat. You can already tell. This is pretty solid. This is pretty good. You're looking around at least, and you're removing. You're canceling GA, strafing to the right, strafing to the left. Individual mechanically, like good movement. Mechanics look great. I think at this point, it's just a matter of decision. Understanding, okay, there's a grab. What are you going to nano boost? Or what are you going to damage boost? Who are you going to fly to more than anything? Right now, you hear they have tactical visor. You probably have to play around cover. You can't fly in the open with the Pharah there. You're kind of losing track. Oh, you see, right there. You saw how they were popping out here. You're going to have to drop with them. Okay, the only thing I would do right here is, as you fell with them.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Oh my god. Like, as you fell with the McCree, I probably would have just like looked on the other side or used my ears right now. You see, both their hit scans are here, so you're like, okay. Let me take position. They have visor. Your Kree kills their Rhine. You see bullets. You're turning your back to them, so at this point you just drop immediately instead of waiting for the Kree. You just drop and go back on high ground if needed. Then right here, you're staring in one direction. If I were you, I keep beam on this way. I would actually look this way and just make sure like they don't come behind me. And then once my next GA is open, and making sure my McCree is like forcing them away, then I could fly across. That's like the only thing I would do so far, honestly. Like so far, so you guys are winning every fight, so it's hard to like pick anything that like seems like something that seems like a huge misplay, because there really isn't much.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Okay, so where does this fight get juicy? I need to find a fight where you start losing to see what you could have done better in those fights. Maybe this is the fight you lose. Let's see. I mean, you're just damage boosting right now. You top people off. Top people off and flip some damage boost to make sure. Okay, fly back. I was gonna say you're kind of in LOS right now, but you got out of cover pretty quickly. You kind of lost your Pharah. Okay, maybe around here when you know they have this. I think you were trying to like peek, but then your Pharah kind of like went left and right and was playing on this pillar, so you lost beam, and then. I mean, that really wasn't your fault. Your Pharah was dry peeking the Bastion, so. We'll blame Hot Nauseous. You res, and you just gotta get out now. You guys gotta reset. Fly with her across over the castle. Good. Honestly, this is pretty good Mercy gameplay. This is fine. Like, you don't have to get too fancy with it, but you're kind of alternating. You're not tunneling on the Pharah, which is good. It seems like you're alternating and trying to help. You're Valkyrie for the initiation. You hear the high noon, you break LOS. Yep, they have a Valk. You just gotta hold this. You can flick to some damage boost while that was happening, but they had a grab and they're beaming you, so. Oh, so far so good.
Let me get you patched up.
If you wanted the real tip, I would just switch off Mercy right here. If you wanted my true advice, I mean, it could kind of work with Junkrat, but I think it works better than, I actually think that you could still run Lucio with Anna with it. It might help you here as an option. If you can't break through a wall, you kind of have to. And the thing about Mercy is she's kind of at the mercy of your DPS choices. Your Mercy is at the mercy of your DPSs. Like, if you guys are running into a wall, it's hard as a Mercy to really like make a play per se, since you are kind of just attached to somebody else for the most part. That's where like playing stuff like, in my opinion, BAP, Zen, or Lucio, you can play make on other heroes. It's harder to play make. I'm not saying it's impossible to play make on Mercy. Get a good, like, just good damage boosting and good alternation, or like flicking of your beams on the right targets can go a long way. But in general, the playmaking potential is lower on her, unless you do some like crazy body blocking shit. And you can't really over peak this right now because they were dumping a bunch of ults over. So this is higher than plat, chat. You guys are getting some picks here, so you go for the juicy res. Okay, I dig it. I would have looked to the right there. I know you see some low HP targets. I think you're healing your other people first, your squishy heroes. I'll play with your Kree right now. How are you? I'll play up here and then look down if needed. Oh.
You gotta work on that, eh? Watch your back.
Okay, nice.
Don't stop now.
Now they're dead.
Peak performance.
Okay, the rest of your team is dead.
There.
You're sitting ducks. Get this move.
I'm taking care of you.
Okay.
Thank you, kindly.
Let me watch this fight here.
Heroes never
Okay, you're
die.
balking. Yeah. Boost administered. Fight damage boost is strong here. Okay, getting some AoE boosting. But like your entire team is just dead. Going for that res, that's fine.
Not the end.
I'll probably damage boost that really quickly, see if you can do some extra damage. On that beam, good. Go back, check the front. Oh, back. I think you kind of, I mean, okay. Okay, the colors are kind of confusing me. Ryan's going for your Kree here. Like the only way I would play this differently. Okay, let me just try to think here. If I were in this spot,
Heroes never die.
popping Valk, I would only hold heal here for a bit. Okay, they're kind of full HP. Now I would flick the damage, and then you kind of go and heal, then you break line of sight. Okay, so far I think this is fine. This guy's swinging. I like how you're flicking damage, but the minute he gets stunned like this, you got to go back to healing for a second. But you are in healing, and he still gets bursted. Okay, so that wouldn't have saved him because he was discorded. Okay, so now what? They go for their shatter, which this is where I would turn around and check if anybody got stunned first. I would look around just for some awareness, and if it's like an Anna, like you literally, even if you held the beam on the Anna, she still would die if this charge goes and you don't have any stuns. So I actually think rezzing this was fine in hindsight. Like even if you like your team, two of your teammates just went to your left and like let this fucking Junkrat get his stuff done, which kind of sucks. You do get the res off. This is where I would look. Like when I mentioned playmaking earlier, you can actually playmake in Valkyrie with your pistol, surprisingly, especially if they have snipers or some people that are very vulnerable. Zen and Widow are actually pretty easy targets to kill as a Mercy. You're checking around, looking, pocketing this Kree, then coming back. So once he kills the Rhine, I mean, you guys are down so many people. There's just a Rhine here. Yeah, back out. Honestly, I wouldn't have played that too differently.
Thank you, kindly.
Honestly, I feel like I haven't given you much input because there isn't too much to pick apart. The only thing I would say is just switch off Mercy.
Let's get you back out there.
I don't like Mercy on third point. Okay. You're gonna res this. That's fine. Then you gotta stay behind. You can try damage boost Junkrat right now. I would damage boost Junkrat over Kree right now. Kree's nice when he's in like a duel with another hit scan, but they're not. I mean, I would damage boost Kree when you're not around the corner yet, so he can spam shields. When you're around the corner, I think damage boost Junkrat before you're around the corner to help spam down and break down the shield to give you an opening to cross. And then when you cross the corner, you damage boost your Kree because you want to like pressure their Pharah, and it's harder for Junkrat to pressure a Pharah. If she's in the air, Junkrat has a lower chance of hitting her than a Kree. So, but you're kind of stuck on healing duty because your tanks are just taking so much damage right now. Then he's around the corner, so you can't heal him there, and then they initiate on you. So I mean, like with this comp, literally the best tip would be play Lucio. Because Bap Lucio to kind of help you round corners right now for rush would be solid.
I'm here.
That's okay though. So right here, as you're outside, I'd be damage boosting Junkrat, right? Because their Pharah is going to be jiggler peeking. It's going to be pretty hard for your McCree to really do anything solid because this Rhine's holding shield there. So I would be damage boosting Junkrat on the outside. I have this pen tool that I haven't been able to use yet. Yeah, so, I mean, if you're around this corner, does this Kree have LOS right now? You would just do it for a bit to make sure their Pharah hide. You're getting damage boosted. Okay, she's shooting it. Okay, good. Okay, she gets pushed back a little bit, but at least you made the Pharah a little scared. Let her know. Let her know what's up. Hopefully your Creek is focusing Pharah. Good. guarding the wall here.
30 seconds. Heroes never die.
Okay, a little bit early on the Valk, but you're kind of running out of time. I would probably not Valk that early. Probably wait till you're closer to the gate. You still have time. Now your Valk is pretty much over, and the team fight engaged. You see your little bar in the center of your time left on Valkyrie. The fight is rounding the corner and starting now, and you have less than a quarter of it left. So that was probably the biggest mistake so far in this final fight. You want to give yourself a fighting chance. I wouldn't have Valk that early. You have to hold heal here because it's chain healing. I would not flick the damage when this guy's about to die, but you can argue that if she has barrage, she doesn't though. You switch to damage, let this Rhine die, and you res him after. Or pray your Baptiste heals him.
Get in here, Barry.
Because the longer this Rhine is at low HP, he just has to hold the shield up.
I'm taking care. Damage boost engaged.
Oh, so this guy's asleep. Okay. Okay, good. That guy's dead.
Protect the payload.
Careful, careful. You're in there, LOS now. Get out, get out.
Justice reigns from above.
Okay, let's break down this
Damage
fight.
boost engaged.
Break down this team fight here. Okay, somebody dealt with this Zen. They already killed your Rhine.
Come on.
This is where you try to see if you can find a res, which I think you wanted to. You're flying because you saw your Pharah, but then their Diva ulted right away, so you didn't really have a chance to go for a res. You see it behind you. This is why range, when I do the range indicators, will be very helpful because I actually don't think you're in range of dying here. Whatever, you dodged it. And this is where I'd try to hop back around this corner and go for the res, but then their Pharah had a heads up play and started barraging you anyways.
Justice.
Like literally the only way you would have lived after that bomb was to like fly in here. So that's hard to read. So I don't blame you for not seeing that right away in the middle of this fight. That sucks though. If it wasn't you, you can res the other person. Your life matters a lot on Mercy because you grant somebody else a life. So it's less forgiving in that way. This is where, I mean, the other tip you can do on Mercy is to also just call out for your team because you tend to be playing in the back line quite a bit. And you know, after you attach yourself to the Pharah, I'd probably look around a bit more. Once the beam is on, as long as they're within, as long as you like look at them within the next 2 seconds, the beam will stay attached. You have this little UI indicator. Oh, I can use my thing. You have this UI thing right here, right? And you see hot and nauseous, and you see their HP bar like this, right? So even if once you have the beam attached, what I would probably do is just attached and then look around and see what's up. You see a sleeping boy here. I have this beam still attached to Pharah. As I look and swing my mouse around and see what's going on. You're basically an intel gatherer. Information gatherer. You see this, you see that, you see what's happening. I think maybe that might be the only thing that's kind of been lacking so far. God damn, look at the range of regenerative burst.
Come on.
Okay. Like, there wasn't as much of a priority to fly to this like Pharah in hindsight as you backed up. After you healed her and looked around, and you see this, and you reattach your beam, and then you take a couple steps back, you can reassess the battlefield, right? So you're playing here. Like if I were you right here, I know this Kree went for the Zen, then I turn here, I'd pocket the Baptiste. Then I see the Mercy bomb back here, and then I would probably, like, instead of flying to that Mercy on instinct, or sorry, to the Pharah on instinct, I would have seen the bomb to the right, maybe shift to the left with the Baptiste, let it explode, which would have given you a chance to, like, see this Pharah come out, and then you wouldn't have been barraged, and you just wait it out, which is all you can do. Honestly, even despite all that, and then you go for a res after, but even despite all that, you might not have lived.
Step right up.
That's a tough call.
Ready for battle.
I think in general as a Mercy, when you're playing with a Pharah, it is important to help and like pocket the Pharah, but like you don't over tunnel. And also Pharah kind of loses her value inside third point because the ceiling isn't that high. One of the benefits of playing, you know, Pharah Mercy on first and second is because you can stay in the sky for so long, which is very powerful. But once you kind of get indoors, I wouldn't focus as much on keeping her alive. Because if she decides to just like fly here, like this is the ceiling, right? If you're any hit scan, it's pretty easy to shoot from here to here. Like obviously when you're outside and the Pharah Mercy's in the distance, when you have more fall off and less limitations up there, the priority changes. I guess that's like just the healing and damage boost priority there. And just looking around more and reassessing it.
Ain't much for waiting around.
You needed a doctor? I'm here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so right now, who do you have here?
Let's get you back out there.
You have a Pharah. Where's your Pharah? Here she is.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Boost a couple of her shots. And then you have to bail out you have to bail out this guy. So you did a really short GA to get a little boost. Oh, this was good. This was good. This is actually just in general tips for people who are watching this Mercy. I don't know if you noticed that. So here's a good Mercy. This is where you can tell there's a newer Mercy versus an experienced one, or at least someone who seems more adept at the hero. You see this? You attach the beam and heal, but while it's attached, you look up and reposition. This is what I want to see more often. Like you get the beam attached. This UI is telling you you're healing the tank right now, which is good, but you don't have to stare at them, right? Like I said earlier, you stop staring at them and you're looking up. The beam is still attached. You're looking up for repositioning and getting info while the beam is still attached to this Reinhardt, and you're no longer staring at his ass because it doesn't give you any more info. But looking at your Pharah can help you reposition. And then you fly to her while the beam was still attached, at least. As long as you don't have GA prefers beam. You'd have to detach it before you fly to Pharah. But if you don't, which most people don't, you can still fly. You can attach your beam to Rein and still fly to Pharah while the beam is attached. And after you press your Guardian Angel, after your beam is attached, you can use this to reposition, but still keep the beam on Reinhardt if necessary. It just gives you more options, in my opinion. Yeah, you play with preferred beam target off. There's only like the very low percentage higher level Mercy players play with that on. The only one I can think of is Aspen, who just said she got used to it, but I'm pretty sure she always recommends like just don't play with it. I just got used to it when I was like newer at the game, and I just haven't untaught myself. Works for her. It does open up some different plays, but I think in general most people play with it off anyways. But that was good. I want to see that more often. Where the beam is on, but you're like looking around to reposition without having to necessarily switch beams right away if it's not necessary. Or alternatively, on the flip side, as a Mercy, you use a reposition, but you beam someone else. Like right now, Pharah needed some juice, so it's fine. Or like as you're flying to reposition, you look at your Zarya, you put the beam on her, but you're still traveling in this direction. So at least you're beaming the Zarya for a bit, flying across, and as the line of sight breaks, then you like give it back to Zarya, just to kind of balance out the healing. That's just something I've observed from higher level Mercies. Like I don't even put it in practice that often because it's just not as intuitive to me because I don't play this hero that often, but it is something I've seen. It's something to keep in mind as well. I was gonna say kind of tough to pistol if they were in heal pad, but they kind of dipped out, so that was good.
Healing stream engaged.
Oh, nice. Good sniffing her out. That's good. With 2 here, be careful of sending too many resources back here. It's 1 Echo is drawing the attention of 3 people. You better be sure you guys kill her fast. I would actually be damage boosting your McCree. McCree is much more reliable to kill. So right here, your priority in healing and damage boosting Pharah is not as good. When you see your Kree here, make sure your Kree goes and kills her. Anyways. Their Echo kind of fed, so you made it out. You're back in the fight. You heal everybody else except the Rein because he was anti, but you gotta heal your Rein now.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Okay.
We make a great team.
Fine so far. Flip the heals, good. Yep. Keep it on heals for a bit, top her off. Or being at full health matters when they have damage breakpoint here, like hit scan bursty stuff like Ash Kree. Good. Nice. You guys got one. They're starting to push in now, so this is where you start looking. Yes, good. You're feeding yourself some info. Okay, you're gonna commit over. This is tough. You might get stuck. You might develop this. Okay, this is where you as a Mercy have to be like, is this a feed or a pop off? She kills one. Alright, which is good. She went too early because they were all at the choke and your team was way too passive for this. So your Pharah didn't have a good read on the flank barrage. The flank barrage would be really solid if she just waited a bit longer. Waited for your team to come back around. Your team was like 4 people. Like, her barraging here allowed 5 people to turn around because they're way too far. And then, you know, you as a Mercy, you can't control what your Pharah did. You can support her as much as you can.
Rocket.
And then she dies. You pop Valkyrie and you just get out. I think right now, as she died, if you pop Valk and check to the right, to the left, you can see the silhouettes of your team. You would have been like, oh shit, there's literally nobody here. There's almost like, if 5 people look at you at the same time, there's almost no way you live that. I mean, Zen didn't notice you, but there were like 3 people looking and staring at you. Honestly, if she missed the sleep, you might have actually been able to pull the res off. And then you guys would be up here. But your team is still so far from the follow-up that, I mean, it's best to cut your losses and get out. It's easy to say in hindsight, but that's just the stuff you kind of have to read as a Mercy. You can stay attached to the hip as much as you want on a DPS, but if your DPS is making some not great choices, you can't also go with them. You can also give yourself a chance to get out of here too.
Valkyrie online. Powered up. Thanks for the assist.
Good movement though. You made it back pretty fast. You fly up.
I've got you in my sights.
They have visor here. You're gonna hold heals as long as you can, but yeah. All right, that fight's over. Damn, it's hard. It's crazy to think one person's decision literally cuts it. But if you made yourself out because your Pharah did kill one, she killed the Ashe, would have been a 5v5, and you had a better chance of living. So that's an impactful play right there. If you decided not to commit to that res and you just Valked and got out, your team would have been, yeah, at a 5v5. Your Pharah killed the Ashe early, but your Pharah died in exchange. Be pretty even. But because you went down too, they got to push a 5v4 and then they lost. That's a ripple, the butterfly effect. I mean, you said you got bored and greedy, so like as long as you understand that and you are actively, consciously thinking about those kinds of decisions, I'm sure you'll break out of your wall soon.
I've got you. Damage increase.
Right now, this is a good time to be looking around. Okay, so as you're flying and you attach the beam, when I'm watching your POV, I'm not getting as much info as I'd like. I feel like I don't know enough of what's going on right now in the battlefield. I'm just going off sound cues. This is a perfect time as you're flying here to like flip your camera around and look right now. There's a lot of shit happening. You can see, okay, my Ryan's antied, my thing here, 2 tanks here. I would stay like this and then fly like this, GA or hold my, descent a bit to get a better view. I see my Ryan shattered. This is where I'd actually, get off the Pharah. It's like if you were looking around, you would have had the info. I would have flown to this Rhine and like damage boosted each swing because he's swinging into 2, and then flip the heal right now. And then once he breaks line of sight, then I go reattach to my Pharah. There's a lot of other ways to prioritize what you're doing here. If you were just looking around and I feel like you have the Mercy mechanics to know how to do it and like fly to people and get those heals and all that stuff. You're just not giving yourselves the opportunity to do it because you're not looking around enough. Yeah, I would stay on heals. That's good. Do you see how you use? So right there, your Pharah is barraging, but you knew you can hear this Reinhardt right below. You're not sure if he's swinging. I didn't have enough info to know. I see his HP is low now, but I didn't see him. But I heard him underneath you as you were descending from this Pharah barrage. And what you did was you kept the heal on her to make sure she doesn't die, and then you flew to your teammates while keeping the heal on. So that was good. And that's what I want to see more often. That was good. Notice that, chat? Like right here. See this? Rocket barrage. You hear shit. You see a Rhine. I don't think he really saw his HP. It was kind of hard to see because there's a lot of shit on the screen. So you try to fly to get out of like to reposition, but you kept this beam to your left right here to hot and nauseous. As you're flying, you didn't detach your beam yet. You're still flying with it. And you can see that difference is like, you actually got this Pharah back to full without ever detaching your beam while repositioning. And that's great. That's really good.
You should be at peak performance levels. Behind you. Healing stream engaged.
Look around now. Look around. Look around. Good. Especially during downtime. When team fight isn't engaging, keep looking. Keep looking. Look, look, look,
My
look.
ultimate is ready.
Okay, you're up in the air. You get a little heal. Alright, okay. That res is doable.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Alright, they did get a kill. This is where you're gonna look to probably Valk when this engages. Oh, you're kind of flying across when your team's not there. Be careful, be careful. Okay, you're good. Up in the air, up in the air. Your Pharah's getting really deep here. Alright, you got bit damage. It's a good Valk. Pharah's killing 2. Yeah, which is good. Make sure nobody else dies. Oh, okay. I respect it. I respect it. Yeah, you guys already won. You guys already got 2 kills beforehand, but you Valk to get out. I'm surprised there's Soldier Visored. That was good. Don't worry about that.
Damage increase. Healing stream engaged.
Oh, yeah. The soldier's gonna come around this corner. Oh, okay, you're good. You made it out. You made it. The soldier didn't respond to that, but she still dies anyways. That's why I didn't like that res, because it's way too deep. Sometimes if your DPS just feeds or goes too good, you just let him die. All you can do is hold your heals here. That's it. And you reposition while beaming near the end of the grab. It's pretty good. So you hold it as long as you can here because you're here, but then near the end of the grab, you fly while keeping the beam on because you know they're kind of screwed, while doing as much healing as you can to build your next Valkyrie. Solid. You have to cut your losses here. Stay in the air here. Stay on high ground. Nice. You hear them. Okay, you almost get Valk off this. Trying to fly. Ooh, barely missed the Pharah. Honestly, if you hit the Pharah right there with the GA, I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe you do know it, but you can hold the GA button like pre-buffered. So the minute anybody comes in your LOS, you fly to them. So if, like in this case where I know I have to run, I would literally just hold shift or whatever GA is bound to for you console players. The minute anybody's in your line of sight, you actually immediately fly to them without having to like press it again. As long as you held the button beforehand, the ability is buffered the moment anybody walks in line of sight. So, I mean, that's another mechanic tip on Mercy. Like right here, where you're like trying to juke and run, and you're looking for somebody else to fly to. If you just right now just press shift right now and hold the button. Right now, it would have automatically activated for you because you were in her line of sight. Nice use of Epic Pen. There you go. Like right there, you see the UI indicator? It popped up. If you held shift, you would have got it. You would have actually made it out. You would have flown, meow, and you would have been good. There you go. I used the pen. Happy? So in this game, in Overwatch, you can pre-buffer a lot of abilities. One of the ones they always teach you is for Tracer players. If you ever get slept, you just hold your recall button without having to spam it. You just hold the button down so that by the time you wake up, it'll like do it the moment you have a chance to.
30 seconds remaining.
Pre-buffered inputs.
I've got you.
You did end up living though, which is nice.
My ultimate is ready. Go.
This is a Valk fight. Watch out, visor, drop. Ooh, close. I have to burn a bubble for that.
Never die.
I would have popped it a little earlier because it is final fight. You're gonna try to look for the rest, but you can't. I was gonna say you look for it, but I didn't mean like now. You still have like 5 more seconds on it. You heard visor and 4 people looking right now. I know you want to, but this is where you have to coordinate with somebody. Like the only way you go for this is if you tell your Zarya to bubble you, which you already saw the bubble pop, or you tell your BAP to lamp it. But honestly, this guy's already dead. You just probably flank with the Pharah at this point, and then you res somebody else near the end. Right, she pops off, so that's tough. No bueno there. Let's look at the final fight.
The payload has reached the chip.
Yeah, you did make it out though. Oh my god, Emong hosted. Oh, I actually have to go really soon too. I have to go after this. Wait, let me check if it's time first. Hold on. 1 second. Emong, thank you so much for the giant, enormous host. I appreciate it though. Much love, much love. I thank you for passing the love on. I'll make sure to pass the host and love on to somebody else right after this because I am gonna hop off as soon as I finish this VOD review. But much love. Thanks for the games earlier today too. I appreciate it. All right, let me finish this VOD review. We're just reviewing some Mercy gameplay. That's why I had to dip after. Just wanted to do this.
Mortality field down. Watch yourself.
Damage boost engaged.
Much love, much love. I don't have blankies. We should have blankies. That's right. That's a good amount.
Let them out.
I'm here. I am power.
Yeah, I mean, you could res, but like, yeah, it's fine that you didn't.
Where does it hurt? Damage increase.
For those who just joined, I do VOD reviews for 48,000 stream points. Follow the stream and build up the loyalty points. I'll put the VOD review in stock here and there called Gameplay Review if you see it in the loyalty point store under StonQs. Basically the end of it though is the last fight. Okay, so you're popping Valk as the team fight's engaging. They're antied. All you can do is damage boost. So damage boost these two DPSs. And try to get the res on your tank after. Just let him die. You already got antied. You guys got 2 kills back. Tough to do it in front of the Kree, but you get under cover just in time. Okay. Oh my god, you guys won.
Victory.
So you won. Like, I really think the biggest takeaway from your Mercy gameplays that I've seen so far is just look around more. Just feed yourself the info. I've like to prioritize what you need to do on. It's mostly that because it feels like when you have the info, you are making good choices. It didn't feel like your choices were bad for the most part. But obviously looking around more will give you more options to choose from so you can better like fine tune the good choices to make even better ones, if that makes any sense. That's probably the biggest takeaway. I'm impressed with like your movement. Your movement's really good. You didn't really super jump much, but it didn't feel like you really had to in a lot of these cases because you were just flying around with Farah. But definitely keep up the good work where you know you're flying to people, but you keep the beam attached, keep them topped off, but use it to reposition. I was really impressed with that. That was good. But yeah, more looking around, more info, more decisions to make, and you get to narrow down and you know pick and choose what works best in the situation when you have more options to choose from. But yeah, chat is gonna have a little guess at the rank. I was gonna say this is probably like 3,200, 3,300. It's pretty good though. Yeah, Mercy is a very good scouting hero. Exactly. So I'm not sure what the comms were in this game, but you could definitely contribute in that capacity too. Okay, chat's guessing 3K as well. I'm gonna guess this is like 32, 31 to 33 now. I don't know what rank you said you were. It was mostly like the lobby that kind of gave it away. Your Farah was thinking she was invincible with your pocket, which kind of threw it off a little bit. Plat 28. All right, Sneaky Paw. What's your rank now? $33.60 peak, $33.16. Damn, I was on the ball. Let's get it. All right, sick. There you go, 3,300. Good shit. Like you're pretty much there. Like I said, a lot of diamond players, I feel like a lot of them are like bored. Like they can hit GM if they just fix like a few things in their play. Like I've seen some diamond players with some insane, crazy good mechanics and like pretty solid players. It's just fine tuning the small things, and that really makes a big difference, right? Just being consistent itself will literally net you like 500 SR off the bat. All that little stuff. KarQ, how far are you behind on the gameplay reviews? You forgot the name of the VOD and you haven't posted it yet, and it was 4 months ago. I don't post all the VOD reviews Not all of them do get posted. I only pick and choose certain ones because a lot of times they end up getting repetitive. I've done King's Row Anna like 10 times now, so I'm not gonna put like Platinum King's Row Anna. I've done that specific rank, that specific map, that specific hero. I've done too many times, so I don't really do too many repeats. I try to find more unique ones. So no guarantee yours gets posted, unfortunately. But as long as you got you were watching the VOD review on stream and you took some information out of that, that's the biggest takeaway. Getting it uploaded onto the second channel is just a bonus. Anyway.